Don't get quiet now. Can everyone? Can everyone hear me? First of all, let me say thank you all, everyone. Myself and his team, we're grateful to be able to bring this state of the city to our citizens, to this community, and we pray and hope that everyone realize how important this is to us, because we pride ourselves on the core values that we always talk about, which is transparency, accountability, as well as being wholesome and being a steward of the citizen money. So we would like to welcome you all here. Thank you all so much. I do want to say to the people that are watching, we want to encourage you all to ask questions. If I don't know the answer, which I probably will not, I'm blessed to be amongst a great team of council members, as well as the city manager and his department heads. We will get you the answer. So we do want you to call in at 334-448-2718. Again, if there's any question, please call in at 334-448-2718. And I do think there is a pause when you call in that may take a few seconds, so you can cut me off or cut whomever off. And I don't want you to just call in and ask questions for me to answer, but also any question that you may want to have from the city council, and as well as the city manager. So we are grateful for that. So with that, we welcome everyone. And at this time, I'd like to call on Councilman Bailey if he would lead us with the prayer, as well as with the pledge. And if we can stand and remain standing. Councilman Bailey.
Thank you, Mayor. If everyone would please bow our heads, let's go to the Lord in prayer. Dear most gracious, loving Heavenly Father, we thank you for each day that you give us. None are promised, none are deserved, but each one is full of blessings. We just need to look around us and see them. Thank you for a wonderful city, Lord, a wonderful country. Thank you for the citizens that live in this country and this city, Lord. But also thank you for the department heads, our city manager. I thank you for this council and the mayor. Give us the strength and the wisdom, the courage, the ability to do what's right, even when it seems sometimes to some that we've overlooked right. But let them understand that we're doing it out of what we know to be best for each one of us in this room as a group of people, never individually. Give us the wisdom to see things through other people's eyes, Lord, not through just one side of the glass. Let us understand that all things are done for your purpose, all things are done through you, and all things are done for you. Help us to understand and to guide us, but mostly help us to get along with each other and learn to love each other, Lord, as you showed by example by sending your Son to die on the cross for us 2,000 years ago. As I said, we're undeserving, never will be deserving, but through your Son, Jesus Christ, you can make all of us deserving if we just understand that he died for each of us individually, laid his life on the line, paid our debt for sin, and our sins are forgiven. All these things I ask in the most precious name there is, my risen Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
You place the flag, attention, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilman Bailey. We want to make sure everyone can hear us. Your last name? Yes, okay. At this time, this is one of the highlights that we get a chance to show our council members as well as our department head. And this is one of the grand event for us in this council. So with that said, I want to introduce all the council members as you see on their pictures. Griff Gordy will not be here today. He had something to come up and he's doing the right thing. But I do want to introduce Steve Bailey. Raise your hand, Steve, who just did our prayer and pledge. Vicky Carter, Steve Bailey is District 1. Vicky Carter Johnson, District 2. Arthur Day, District 3. And also our city clerk, Melanie Lee. Highlights all the department heads. Gil Griffith, who as you see is over our building department. Sean Culligan, economic development, and also Angel Moore, who's our engineer in public works. Labrita King Copeland, who's our finance person. Chris Kennedy, fire department, chief department. Chris in the back. Stephanie Chastain, our human resource director. Where are you, Stephanie? Mike Bauer, who's over here, who's guiding this ship, which I'm grateful for. So he will keep me straight. He's our information and technology, our IT person. Michelle Kildale of our library. Ruby White, who's not able to be here, and I do want to stress this, that her father passed, and I want to challenge all of us and the ones that are watching, let's please keep her and our family in our prayers. But please keep her in your prayers and her family, because I know all of us has experienced it one way or another, and she's doing the right thing, and it's not an easy task. Todd Hughes over our Parks and Recreation. Oh yeah, Todd. Tracy Hathaway, who's our planning. Tracy, where are you? This is her first year being at the State of the City, and we have welcomed her with open arms, and we appreciate you coming in with your head and feet first. Chief Raymond Smith, Police Department, Chief Smith. Charles Woody, who's our Utility Director. Where are you, Charles? He's not here? Okay, Charles is not here. Legal appointments, Judge Greg Waldrop, he's not here. I didn't see him. We do have Pat Lofton also, Municipal Court, he's not here. James P. Graham, our attorney, along with Jim McCoon, our attorney. Chant Gamble is not here, but this is our legal team, and let me say this, all of these people are the most critical part of our city and how we get things done in the right way, doing it right the first time. I do want to, the financing part of it, but I do want to say this. This year's State of the City is probably like it's not like any other ones that we've had. It's not because our numbers are not great, which you will see, or all the progress that we've made. But it's unlike any other State of the City because we all know that COVID has tried to keep us from being great individually as well as collectively. But the reason why this one is unlike any other one is because the city manager in 2020 was preparing the council, which we were okay, as far as the number of employees that we had that would show up to work each day. And he prepared us that it was going to catch up with us. Now, this was in 2020. Well, in 2021, it did. It affected this organization like it did a lot of companies, and a lot of people had to stay at home and take care of themselves. But in spite of that, we've been able to still make great progress that you've seen. The city manager team had to work diligently to get this plan together because, this work staff is down as many other organizations, but because of that, this is unlike any other state of the city. But the great thing is that they still showed up. Every morning they would get up and put their feet on the floor, and I'm quite sure the devil and some people in the community said, oh crap, they up again. Because when they got up, they were focused on doing the business of our citizens. So because of that, this is unlike any other state of the city that we've had. And that's why it's important to us in this council to show these people, to brag on these people, because in spite of all the challenges that we had that caught up with us, as the city manager warned us in 2020, they were still able to get the work done. Maybe not as expediently as we've had in the past, and the council can attest to this, but they done it. And that's what people does when they love their community. They had to suck it up. We've all had to suck it up because COVID is, again, trying to keep us from being great. But we overcame it. So because of that, this state of the city is unlike any other state of the city. And these numbers will show you how well that we've done as a city. This is the balance sheet, our general fund balance sheet. We went back to 2017. Driver, this is the general fund, as I say. If you look at from 2020 to 2021, the amount of cash that we have grew by 39%. And that is all sales tax. Now, as we delve into it, you'll see another sheet that says that our sales tax grew to 33 million, but this is strictly when we pay our bills and do things. We have $25 million, which is a 39% increase. But the amazing thing is this: from 2017 to 2021, we have grown by 231%, from 7.7 million to 25.8 million. That's unheard of in 5 years. That tells you the growth of this community. Other asset, as you see here, from 2020 to 2021, that grew by 35%. But our total asset from 26.2 to 35.9 grew by 37%. So from 2017 to 2021, that's 170% increase. Very strong. And the great thing about it, of our total asset, over 72% of it is cash. That's pretty strong. Grateful for that. Balance sheet, as you see here, deferred income, inflow, the total liability is 2.5, deferred incomes, 463,000, which is property tax revenue. Here, non-spendable, committed to operation revenues, 5.4 million. That's to set aside for emergencies, as well as paying debt if we need to going forward. So as we all know, it has to balance. Our total liability and fund balance is $35,937,920, which is balanced with our total assets. Very strong. Annual budget, 2020 to 2021, $43.7 million to $45.8 million. That's about a 5% increase. But the greatest thing is operating days of reserve, which is a key component part of the operation of this municipality in the general fund. And Mr. Hunter, I know that's some Standards and Poor's look at, so we got to increase every year, but to get to 237 days of operating funds without cash coming in, which is close to 8 months, there's a lot of cities that would really love to be in that position. And as I stated, yeah, this is unlike any other state of the city that we've done, but it's not because of how well we're doing. And this indicates, as long as what I've shown you, that we're doing something right. City manager and his team and this council, we're doing something right. 235 days of operating funds. Key component. The debt we have, you got to be able to service it. And this has never been a problem that I've seen that we've had. We cover our debt by far. When you look at this, the debt coverage available, 27.9 to 37.9. That's a 35% increase, very strong. The general obligation debt, as you see, we decreased that by 6%, and we've been trekking in the right direction for the most part, but we've reduced our debt from general obligation from 60.1 million to 56.6 million, which is a 6% decrease. Trekking in the right direction. That's our general obligation debt. The self-supporting debt, which is part of the utilities, Downtown Redevelopment Authority, and the school system. The school system has taken all their debts off of our books. However, as you see here, we had an increase, $55.3 million to $63 million. What that is the state revolving funds, which means we increase that for utilities to purposes. Am I right, Mr. Hunter? And let me say this, and I always say this, and I know people are probably getting tired of it, but it's mission critical that we continue to focus and upgrade our infrastructure of this city. And you've heard it several times from this council and myself. You will always hear it. We have to stay on top of that. And we are doing some things to hopefully prevent, after we're long gone, to make sure this city infrastructure in proper places is done properly, because if not, it will cost 10 times more. But from 55 million to 63, again, that's the state revolving funds that we increase for infrastructure, for capital improvement, for our utilities. And you see the total debt grew by 119, and that's all because of the increase right here. Annual debt service, it did drop by 2.77%. That's how much our debt service is over the year that we pay. And we are able to cover our debt. You see here 479%, which actually is $4.79, or if you want to round it up, $4.08, which means that, and I say this every year, after we pay all our debts, the city still has almost $5, $4.80 left, which is very strong. The stress test, as we all heard, rates will be going up. We don't know how much, but we put it at 6% to stress it, which would take our annual debt service to 12 million, 13 million, but we still would be able to cover it 2.90 to 1 or 291 to 1, which means that after we pay all our debts, we still have $2.91 left. Very strong for a city of our size. We're able to service our debt. Okay? Sales tax, taxable value, property values. I mentioned earlier that on the first page of our general fund, we saw that the cash balance was 25 million. That was part of taxes. Sales increased, but however, that was after we paid all the expenses. So from 2020 to 2021, we grew by 13% in our sales, property taxes, tax revenue, 13%. And you see we've tracked it every year pretty good. In spite of COVID, we have still had great success, which shows how well this city is growing with businesses and with people moving here. Because we all know that this number would not increase if it was not. The lifeblood of any community, of a city, municipality is the sales tax. That lets you know that we've grown 13%. Also, the value on our taxable property has grown by 6%, which is to $378 million. Over the years, that has grown tremendously, because I think in 2012, 2013 was like $296 million. But look how we have grown. Again, the proof is in the pudding. It shows the success of this company of having businesses to come here. And I will say this, we have a bright outlook for the city. $378 million. Our GO debt is at 56 million. We have still about 20 million to use on our GO debt. Not that we would do that. If we do it, it would be for a great reason, and we will be able to fund it. So we can get up to $75 million on our constitutional general obligation debt. Again, we're at 56, we can go up to 75. And also on the other constitutional debt we get that we've done very well and haven't utilized that is the 772, which is 70% of that, which we can go up to 170 million, and I think we've only used about 14 million. But I would tell you this, the city manager really manages that, because it can get you in trouble if you do utilize 772 a lot. But we've done it to make sense, so the percentage increase for our asset value on our taxable property has grown to 6%. It shows that we've grown, and we will continue to grow. I mentioned earlier about how our employees had to suck it up to come in, but I want us to look at this, and I know the council has said this, and I've said this. We just hope that the community and the people of the citizen of this community is patient with us. And Mr. Hunter, correct me if I'm wrong, our work staff has been down at about 48%. We've lost about 48% of our work staff. So I know Mr. Bailey, Mrs. Johnson, Arthur, we tell people, you know, apply, because it's a great organization to work for. The benefits are great, but we have been struck by COVID like most companies has. And I have to say that we were warned, the council was warned in 2020 by our city manager, which we got through, but it hit us in 2021. So we do have some special people, but as you look at this, excuse me, we have budgeted That lets you know that we need people. You look at all these positions we need and budgeted, which means we have the money. We're not just putting numbers up and hoping that we have the money, but it has been budgeted. That's a total of 565 employees. Where we are right now, we're at 403 for 2021. So from 2019, it dropped from 439 to 402 employees. But look how much we have at budget, how many we have. That's 565 positions, and we only have 403. So we want to encourage people to go out there and look, because great benefits, it's a great way to serve people, and we do want to encourage people because, again, key, we have budgeted, we have the money to hire more people. And we're looking for good quality people who wants to serve and make a difference, not only for their families, but for the people of Phenix City. Number of 6 days. 2019, from 2019 to 2020, we can see the difference. The average hours per employees, the number of employees using sick days, it caught up with us this year. And I do want to reiterate to the ones that are watching, please be patient, because when you lose 48% of your work staff, we can't be as expedient as we've been. But I promise you, we will service you. But when you look at this tells you, you still have to pay these people. That's about a week and a half of pay. That's about 2 months. That's about 2.5 weeks. But thank God we have the money and we're doing what's right, because you have to take care of your people, which we all know that it's the number one asset that we have. Again, just the cost of what has taken place since 2009, 59 miles, almost 60 miles of city infrastructure project, paving streets, spent $12 million. City of our size, strong. Again, these are some other projects that we, 14th Street, Park Avenue, Park construction is under construction. That's the cost of $160,000. The Dillingham pedestrian crossing, I want to let everybody know it is there. People had to get used to that. Am I right, Chief? It hadn't been there. And sometimes we drive off our old past habits, but please realize that medium out there, what we've done, the pedestrian crossing, and it looks great, and you'll see it in this later on. But that's right in front of the bike shop on Dillingham Street, on the side of the Russell County Courthouse. $33,000 that we were able to do in-house. Other projects, preliminary. We know about the landfill expansion that we had to do and address, and we have. That's why we saw some of the houses that have been torn down kind of halted some, but that's in the preliminary engineering. We will address that. 43rd Avenue, resurfacing, Nose Road and 4th Place. Seal Road project, that's in the preliminary. We just approved the preliminary, 2 weeks ago, Council? 3 weeks, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, 2 to 4 weeks ago. And let me say that's gonna, take some time to do so. The people in that Arthur district needs to realize that they're gonna have to go around. This is progressing with the growth. And that's going to be, Ms. Honda, correct me if I'm wrong, about a $5 million project? $6 million?
Still Road Bridge, about 1.2.
1.2, okay. Thank you. Some more. But that will be taking place. Other costs, water tank maintenance in progress, and you can see all of these. I'm not going to insult you by reading them, but you see the ones that has been completed and the cost. You see the ones that are in progress. being reviewed, but just look at the cost and the total cost right now, and that could change. That could change because I will tell you, with the environment that we're in, all companies are feeling it. Bids that we've put out has come back double the price that it was. So we're just in that point where we can all realize that things has changed. But I do want to encourage everyone that, you know, nothing comes to stay. We will get past this, but right now that is $16.2 million. That could change because there are certain things we have to do, and we have to bite the bullet. And the city manager has been saying it for over a year, because this can change now, because we're at the mercy of when we bid and the contracts that we have that, and the city manager can talk about this also, but you know, the bids changes and the prices go up, sometimes twice as much. But they are the necessary needs that we have to do. And so we are just thankful that we are in a very good financial position. However, you know, we need to stay on our knees to pray, because, you know, things can change. Things can happen. So, but right now, we're in good shape with that. Utility projects, as you see here, and I'm not going to insult you, as I always say from reading, but this is huge. We will see the kiosks, and again, we're trying to make it as convenient for people to pay. We know in today's environment, no matter where you go, we need to be prepared to wait, because people are just not working. All employees are feeling it. So, you know, the kiosk, we're proud of that, but you see these things that has been completed, and the cost, again, that's $476,000. So you can see how much it costs to operate a city of our size. But this, we're very proud of that. The phone payment system, it is completed, and we hope that is helping the customer when they want to pay their bills, and the other things that we see that are very important. And you'll see some more in the pictures as I go forward. Okay, just some things that we want you to see. 14th Street, 14th Avenue Park is in the process. That's in Councilman Vicky Carter Johnson district. Just a great thing that we're doing there for that community, and that is in the progress, and we see what right now the cost can be, but let me tell you, those costs can change. But we're in a great position financially. City infrastructure project, the IVR, which is the interactive voice response, and you're paying our utility bills, that didn't cost us anything, and we do hope that this is helping our citizens speed up in transacting their business. This is the kiosk. It's in the process of being done. It's still in the progress. That's a cost of $77,000. So hopefully that will be up and running. That will be another avenue where people can, pay their utility bills. Public development, this is on Dobbs Drive, and anybody knows that's a wide street. That has been completed. I would tell you that strategically, the city manager and his team did a great job. They did not go into doing that until school was out for Christmas because of the traffic it has. So they strategically put a good plan together, and it really looks good. And that is a wide road, but it's been done. They did it over the 2 weeks that the kids was out for Christmas. Stake Dock Road resurfacing. Public development, this is the crosswalk I was telling you about, and there has been people who not used to, am I right, Chief? They haven't been used to that, our driving habits, so that's the pedestrian crossing, so we need to be aware of that, but it really looks good, and that's $33,000 that was spent on that. Public development, the public safety building, as you see as you go down Broad Street.
huge for us. Again, shows the progress. I think hopefully by the end of the year, I think the lock dead date is around June, but we know how things ebb and flow, but that is over $5 million. And it's going to have all the modern technologies that we do not have at this time, but that should be completed hopefully before the end of the year. Anything, Chief or Mr. Hunter, you all want to say on that? Anything that I missed? Chief? August. And that still, you know, can ebb and flow. Okay? And these are just some pictures of it, but it's going to be extremely nice, and you can see how big it is, and it's well needed. And there are other plans that we have in place too after this get completed, and we'll be talking about that at a later time. Just some pictures where you can see. You know, we are growing, and we talked about this last year, the training facility. We're closer there with that. This will help with Chief Kennedy. This will help us on the insurance. That is in the plans, and we're closer than we were a few months ago. But it's highly important that we do this so we can keep the insurance down on homeowners because of our growth that we've had. So that's still on the docket. The Art Center, renovated it, looks good. COVID is just still trying to keep us from being great, but you know, we stepping up to the plate. We all know where that is. You can see the refurbishing of that. We bought this building, and there are going to be some plans with that. This is right across from the engineering department on, and I'm bad with street, I'm a landmark guy. Is that 7th? 7th? Okay, that's on 7th. So we just purchased that within the 2 months ago, I think. Am I right? When we purchased this? And already got plans for it, and we'll be talking about that at a later date. And this is adjacent to it, the property, as you see here. But there's already some embryonic planning that's going on. But we were able to buy that and was blessed to pay cash for it. So the city owns it also. Highway 80 development, we did talk about that last year, and you can see right here what's taking place. Again, reflecting how our sales tax revenue has increased. This is a part of the reason why. You know, we have the Popeyes out there, the Taco Bell, and the Dollar Tree, and there's some other things that are in plans to do, as you can see. But again, this shows the growth. It shows how the tax revenue has increased because of this. And let me say this. I was at an event Tuesday for the chamber, and a person came up to me who's into construction and doing things and was very, very positive about Phenix City and how people wants to be in Phenix City and looking at bringing businesses to Phenix City. So we are in a sweet spot. We're in a great position, the opportunities, but it's going to take all of us to make sure that it happens. But this is an indication of why our sales tax has increased, because of the businesses that has opened here. You've probably have seen the construction of this on 280, right next to the Ramada Hotel. They've already broken ground. A lot of people is excited about this. Again, that's going to help us with our tax revenue. But I can tell you this, I've heard nothing but praise for Firehouse. I did not realize so many people like Firehouse. This is right in front of the 2nd Street development where old Kmart used to be. I'm a landmark guy, so I don't know the streets and all that, but that is already under construction. Again, that will add to generating sales tax for the city. That shows the growth. This is the brewery, am I right, Ms. Hathaway and Sean? The city bought this property, what, 3 years ago? 4 years. Well, it's been recently, 3 years, I'm not sure exactly, but there's a brewery that is coming in now. The key thing is that this is in the entertainment district. And what we're hoping that's going to generate even more sparks. And for the ones who don't know what an entertainment district is, it's a mechanism that we can use for a city to bring people to that area that can have open containers from, I think, from Troy all the way to the amphitheater. And that's right there, right across from the municipal building and utility buildings. So we're hoping that this would really jumpstart, but I will tell you this, there are some things that are at the table they are talking about. So I will say within the next 5 years, things are going to look differently, but it's going to take all of us, and when I say all of us, even the citizen, to make it come to fruition. This is a big deal for us, real big deal. You know, with the World Cup and the World Championship for 2022 and 2023, I've said this before, that river has been there for over hundreds of years, and it has been, what's the word I want to use? It is being transmuted, which means that it's bringing more value to this area, and because of where we are in the proximity of it, it's going to help our economy. And that is, 2022, this year, that's in October, and then the 2023. And let me tell you, it is a popular sport, and we are right in the prime of it. We are blessed to have this opportunity with Columbus, and we will reap a lot of benefits. This is a big, big deal, a huge deal for us. So that will be taking place. It's already been signed on the dotted line. When is the, what month? 20, that's in July? Maybe that's why I got it backwards, okay. That's the World Cup and the Freestyle Kayaking World Championship, which will probably be on ESPN. That'll give us great exposure and great advertising. Vector Ply, great company here, 2021, as you see, 30 jobs. They did an investment of $1.7 million, again, creating jobs. And, I know people sometimes don't say or don't want to see this, but let me tell you, folks, it's happening. And it's not going to stop. In fact, they change. They're doing a new expansion. We just approved that. 107 acres down in the industrial park. They're expanding, $23 million investment, 300 jobs right here in Phenix City, and we need to wag our tail when that happens. And I know we've talked about doing some things to get, some of the people from Montgomery over here once we get to this point. But it's an injection of $25 million, 330 jobs, right here, Phenix City, city of 40,000 people. Again, shows the growth that we've had and will continue to have here in our community in Phenix City. Takes a lot of money to run a city, $1.2 million to purchase a fire truck. And it's important. We had to do it, we did it, and we are able in a position to do it. But that's $1.2 million cost. Very important. Parks and Recreation, they have the GPSs on the golf cart, and we see that just the key thing is look how many rounds that were played. And the golf course did make money this year, and as they did last year. So, it's working. But again, the key thing, 23,000 rounds of golf played. Awesome. Again, this is something that we've done, the GPS, and you can even do advertising on it. So again, another forward-moving project that we've done. And that's it. And at this time, I would like to ask if there are any questions by call in, or if anyone here that wants to ask questions. But let me say this. When you call in, give your name and your district, and let us know if you have questions for your district representative or for me. But again, that number is 334-448-2718. And that's just a highlight of what we've done as a city and what we will continue to do. But I will tell you, the future is really bright for Phenix City. There's a lot of opportunity. They're at the table, or we're at the table with a lot of organization companies that are looking here. And so we have a bright, bright future for Phenix City. But it's going to take all of us. And let me say this. Phenix City has really changed. It has grown. I would say since 2012 or 2009, I think when the city manager first got there, anyway, from 2009, whenever it was, 2012, this city has grown exponentially. And it's amazing how much opportunities we have, but it's going to take everybody. And I know I keep saying that. I know we have a great team here, but it's going to take people in the community to be proud of Phenix City. I have a pennant that a young man gave me that they wore to signify that they were the National Guards here, and I keep it. I got it in my office. I don't look at it every day, but you know, oftentimes when I look at it, it just reminds me how far we have come and how it has changed. And what I want to do is to challenge people to have that same kind of fervor as this. I tell you, it was Nicholas Jackson. But the city has changed in a proper, it has transformed. And I'm telling you, particularly from 2012, 2009, whatever, it has really grown. We have a great council. As I said earlier, we live by those core values of transparency and being stewards, being wholeheartedly, and just doing the right thing for the right reason. And we don't take that lightly. And because of that, because of those core values, and because of the people we have that is so important, has caused us to just continue to propel. And this council and myself, we're grateful for that. Totally grateful for that. But it's going to take people out in the community. And I know I said, and I probably should not have said it, that each morning when this leadership, the city managers, these department heads, and these workers put their feet on the floor, I know that it makes the devil shivers, and I know it makes some people hate it. But I will tell you this, when you love your community and you're righteous as far as leading this community, you're going to show up. And that's what, in spite of this challenging year we had in 2021, we showed up because of the love of the city. And I want to challenge us to have the same attitude, citizen. We're not perfect. We're going to make mistakes. When you don't know you're making a mistake. I want to clarify that. It's not a mistake if you get caught trying to do something. It's not a mistake, because if you had to sneak and try to do it, then it's not a mistake. We are grateful to be a part of this community. And I can tell you, we as a council collectively take it very, very serious. And I can't tell you how serious the city manager takes it. And, You know, he gets on the table probably more than we do, but rightfully so, and we encourage him to do that. But we are so grateful that the progress that this city has made, but it's going to take people in this community to also help us to continue to progress. And the three things that we are responsible for, these people at this table and these people over here and these people behind me, is to continue to make it where this city is progressing, to be able to provide provision for things we have to do, for instance, the fire truck and other things we have to do because of a need. But the most important thing is the protection and the safetyness of this team as well as the people in this community. So with that, I'm going to open it up for questions, and I'll ask any of the council or the city manager if there's anything they would like to say. Just to give people time to call in. Again, that number is 334-448-2718. And there may be a delay if you call in, but we will get you. And also, if you want to get a copy of this, of everything in it, you can come down to the city clerk office, and we're transparent, and we will be glad to give it to you. What's that?
It'll be on the website.
Oh, it will? It also will be on the website. And if you see it, you see anything that you want to question, give us a call, us. So we'll see if anybody called. But council member, anything? Yeah, I mean, I'll just jump in. This is the first time they've been this quiet, and I don't know when. I can. Now you have to go. Remember.
Well, Mayor, and you know, as this is my year here in the City Council, I've learned so much, and through my training, going different places that I often enjoy, meeting folks across the state of Alabama, not only across the state of Alabama, but we're at the National League of City. I had the opportunity to travel. And Phenix City is well known, not only in the state of Alabama, but nationally. And we are a member of the National League of Cities. And what does that mean? That means that the city across the United States. I had the opportunity to meet mayors and Forest, California, different places when I did go. It has been a learning experience for me, and when I do go, I dare not take any credit. I say this all the time, that we have a great city manager and his staff. The folks that work for the city, the department head, make our job much easier. And everywhere I go, I brag about this city and how we are growing and continue to grow. And as the mayor has said, we're doing things the right way, do it right the first time. And once you do that, you stick to your gun. You know, as I spoke to Mr. Hunter just later this week, we have a process that we follow. If we follow those processes, we'll be all right. There are some folks who don't challenge that process, but it's there to stay. And we as a council stick together and look after each other. As long as we're doing stuff the right way, that's what counts. It's been, since I've been here 9 years, Phenix City has really grown, and I'm proud to be a part of this team, and I'm proud to represent the council, my constituent in District 3. I'm very proud to represent them, give me the opportunity for 9 years to represent them. And you know, it's something that you will never get used to, because I'm always willing to learn, always willing to meet folks, and they can contest to this. Wherever I go, Montgomery, National City, I'm always asking questions. That's me. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Mr. Bailey, anything?
Just
Take care.
not to reiterate on what you were saying earlier, the citizens need to know we really do have some good department heads down here. Got a lot of good city workers. And I know everybody realizes we're short of workers, but our workers realize we're short of workers too. Some of them are doing multiple jobs. Some of them didn't hire on for certain jobs, are out there doing them. Some of them have been asked to do them, no problem. Some of them get out there and show up and just want to know what they can do. So the citizens need to realize not only are we trying to keep everything going for them as they deserve, we're going to keep everything going for them because they do deserve it. It's part of what we're supposed to do for them. but the employees of our city are gonna do it because they take a lot of pride in themselves, and a lot of pride in doing their job and doing it the right way. And I'm just, couldn't be more proud of a group of people working at the city than I am with all of them, from our law enforcement, fire department, to Parks and Rec, to limb, debris, engineering, street, building department. It doesn't matter, just whatever it is, every one of them go above and beyond. And then our clerk's office, and you know, the city manager and all, everybody's, his door's always open. There's nobody's door in this city that's closed. You can get in touch with somebody from a district representative like myself, Ms. Johnson, Arthur Day, Griff, or the mayor. You can always get in touch with some of us. You can get in touch with the city clerk's office. And I really wish people would. I'd like to hear from people. I'd like for people to get in touch with us and question us. I'd like for people to tell us what we're doing right, tell us what they think we didn't do right. I'd like to be questioned both ways. I don't want to, you know, have things come up to where you hear something and you weren't given the opportunity to confront it. Just bring it out on the open, bring it on the table, and just tell it the way you want to tell it. And if you think any of us have done anything that you think could have been handled differently, bring it up and just let us know. Come to the work sessions, come to the meetings. I know COVID presents a lot of that, but still, when you can, come to them, get involved, watch it on Beam TV, watch it wherever you can get in touch with it, and keep up with what's going on in your city. A lot of people, like Beam and all, they put a lot of effort into bringing this out to people where people can see this. IT on their mic does a lot of interesting things to make sure people can see it. And they need to take advantage of it. It takes just a few minutes, watch it. I know it's not the most exciting show on TV. Absolutely not. But it's a very enlightening show, and it's one that you should be involved with because it's your city, and it's how your city's ran day to day. So, thank you.
Anything, Mrs. Johnson, before we ask the city manager?
Outstanding, Mayor. I was just sitting here thinking, there's a show that, a morning TV show that comes on, Meredith Rivera, I think is the host of it, 25 Words or Less. And I apologize, I failed you, because I was going to start off with just 25 words or less, and hoping that my counterparts, my fellow council member would do 25 words or less. But outstanding, great group of council members. I can't be more humble and privileged to serve with some great people. But I do want to say to our citizens, if I have not had the opportunity to tell you Happy New Year, please allow me to do so at this point. So Happy New Year to everyone. Again, the mayor has outlined some numbers, some great projects that is going to improve our quality of life. Capital improvement projects are so important in our community, and the mayor has done a great job, and I'm just so thankful to be working with my fellow council members, the city manager. Thank you so much for the job that you continue to do. We got a lot that's going on in Phenix City, and I just hope and pray that our constituents, the community members are ecstatic as we are, and about the commitment and the ability to make sure that Phenix City continues to move in a positive forward direction. So again, thank you so much for allowing me to continue to serve. And Mayor, outstanding. I just thank you for your leadership. We continue to pray for our community. We do know that everyone worldwide has been hit with the pandemic. But we have met this challenge, and we're very empathetic when it comes to our community. Again, it had a lot to do with it, but we have made great strides to make sure that we do not fall because of that. We have done so well, the management staff, the personnel department, and every citizen. So again, we just asked our citizens to be patient as we continue to move through this pandemic and its variant. But we've seen great progress, and again, thank you so much, and I'm just so ecstatic to be here.
Mayor, I wanted to as I'm sitting here,
Now remember, you gotta go be somewhere now.
I know.
You see,
I just want to elaborate just a little bit.
we work hard, but we play hard too now.
I just want to elaborate with just a little bit here. As I sit and listen very diligently on what been said, Mr. Brewery done it here, it's a team effort here, Mayor. I think about Mr. Bailey had somebody to contact him in my district. Mr. Bailey called me and we talked about, discussed the issue and stuff like that. Ms. Johnson had the issue down in my district, had an issue down there. What I'm trying to say, Mayor, we work as a team. If I'm in her district, so I'll let her know what's going on, what somebody contacted me, you need to take a look at that. This is what we are doing. And so it's Dr. Gordy as well, had an incident down at South Roy School. Him and I talked about that and got involved. This is what it takes. It takes a team effort. And do not get, I can say he's on the collar, because it will take all of us to carry the city, not only the folks here at their work in the city, but the employees as well as the citizens here in Phenix City. One thing I like to say, Mayor, is this. I can't help but to say it. I was behind a vehicle. It hurt me to my heart, and I sat there at the stop sign. This individual throwing out Burger King sack trash on the street there. It hurt me so bad. I like to say to all our citizens, this is your city. Let us try to keep it clean as possible. Let us not throw out the trash in our cities and streets. Let's do our part in trying to keep it clean. Thank you for allowing me to say that. Thank you very much.
Mr. Hunter?
I'll make it fast. I know this.
Yeah, cause remember he said he got to be somewhere.
Yeah, he said he had to be somewhere. Carried on. I'd just like to say thanks to everyone, and I appreciate all the hard work that you all have done in getting these things prepared so we can have this tonight to inform our citizens. I'd like to say thank you to the citizens, because we do have a lot of citizens that encourage us and encourage our workforce. But as you spoke on earlier, as far as our workers and the percentage of workers that we have here, and thinking about Ruby and her family, we also have a lot of other employees that people don't see. And because of COVID, we've had a lot of people working under tremendous stress with the loss of their loved ones. So there's been some really good troopers here that's been coming back and forth to work and taking care of the things they had to do for this city. And it's been challenging. And as I told you all, it would be, but they have really worked, and I like to say I really appreciate what you all have done. And I don't change my management style at times. I make adjustments as you go. And over the past couple of years, it's been pretty tough in adjusting to a lot of the things and understanding people. But like I say, trying to get people trained to work in this environment and work up under this level that they're working under is tough on a lot of department heads now. But they work good together. They, it's just like a big family. Things are up and down. I appreciate everything y'all understand it and taking a look at the things that we give you all, because it's more or less like a bridge. You all have to deal with constituents, and you have to deal with a lot of complaints here and there, but you also give us a chance to present things in front of you all so that everybody can have an understanding and come out pretty good most of the time, about 90+% of the time. And as you said earlier, we look at people coming here to work, and it's a good place. It's a good time to start work if they can, if people can, and they are serious about coming here. I showed some of the department heads picture today when I was in some training here, and I was 26 at that time. I have been here, but at that time I was 26. Those numbers have flipped on me. I'm 62. And it's a long time. As I shut down, I was at that one today. And I'd like to, for the public out there, it's a lot of people that you can encourage, like you was encouraging earlier. Mike started here when he was 15 years old. He's more or less like, I'm tough on him at times, but he's more or less family, and he's a son. And being able to watch him get married and have 3 lovely kids now. So you look, it is a splendid place to work at and make adjustments, to help. A lot of people fear working for a city and adjusting to the public because they don't understand how they can really just move up and learn about where they live at in the community that they live in. So I hope a lot of younger people, other people will think about that. And what's been real valuable to this city also is our education system. A lot of people have worked here and started working here and went to Chattanooga Valley and obtained a degree and went to Troy and continue to do that. A tremendous amount of our workers. But trying not to just play favorite to any department, I have got to say this. I have got to give our police department a lot of credit. I have been very proud of that department along with the sheriff department. You know, we might look on that TV and see a lot of crime that's on there. We hadn't come up with the answer to prevent crime, period. But we have gotten good results, tremendous results. The crimes have been, you know, it hadn't been a large or a long time with a turnaround as far as solving things here lately. They have done a great job in getting out there. And I tell you people, it's not easy. And it's dangerous out there with what they're up against now. The different gun laws is in place and the whole works. But we plan on, hopefully this pandemic to lighten up on us, because we have got to institute a way to have public academies here so people can understand the work that we really do for this city and what these workers do. And I would just like to say,
It's not an easy gig.
No, it's not.
I can tell you, they can tell you too. You get beat up and you get castigated, you get lied on, but you still do it because you love the city. And as I stated, you put your feet on the floor every morning because you're righteous as far as this city. And I want to appreciate the council for that and the city manager, because it's not an easy gig. I do want to say this, just to recap. Strength. Our strength is our numbers, our people, and the opportunities that we have that we can't talk about right now that will be coming. We have a lot of great strength. Our weaknesses, one of the weaknesses, and we are addressing it, is our infrastructure that's been in the ground 80 to 100 years. We have to make sure that we can go from that weakness to a strength with that. And it takes some time and it takes some money, because again, we're going to do the right things. We're going to be transparent with it. We're going to be stewards, and we're going to be wholesome. But one of the weaknesses is that in people that doesn't like the leadership of the city at times. And I want to encourage the people. I don't care who you are. You need to look and see how far we've come as the city of Phenix City. And when you do hear that, please come down, clerk office, city manager, any of these councils, myself, come down and ask. We would be glad, forthrightly, to show you. But those are part of the weakness, that there are people who's trying to cut the city in this growth. But I'm telling you, we put our feet on the floor every morning, and we're going to make those people say, oh crap, they're up. Because this is serious business. The opportunities that we have, I wish we could talk about it here, but in a few years, it's not going to look the same. We have a lot of opportunities. Our strength, our numbers, and our people. Our weaknesses are people who doesn't want to see the city prosper, as well as our infrastructure. Very important. And the opportunities that we have with the things that are on the table that they're looking at, we have great opportunity. And as I said, I will cut my risk for this city. And I know they will too. We are not going to get outside those lines of doing what we're supposed to do to advance the citizen of Phenix City. We are not there. Do we have everything right? No, we don't. But I can tell you this, we will never lie to you. So I want to challenge you all, and I want to challenge the ones that are watching. Let's be positive. And let's be a lifter instead of a leaner. because we need that. And if COVID hadn't taught us anything, in my opinion, it should have taught us two things. It's taught me two things. Number one, that we truly need each other. Truly need each other. And the second thing is to have some patience. And we got to have patience because the environment has changed. It's trying to keep us from being great, but we're going to hit it head on. But again, we want to say thank you to the ones that are here, and we want to say thank you to the ones that are watching. And I certainly want to thank all these people, from the department heads to their people, to our city council member here, to Mr. Hunter, and particularly, let me tell you, these ladies over here and back there in the back, they slapped me on the hand and pulled me by the ears, and I need that because we're going to do it right. Mr. Bailey?
I was just gonna say to the citizens, if anybody can think of a question they'd like to know later, they can email it, can't they, Melanie?
Yeah, thank you
So
for that.
email it and
Appreciate it.
get it to us, and somebody will get back with you with an answer. I know sometimes you don't think of something at the exact moment, or you know, you just wanna watch something and take in the whole thing. So just wanted to mention that, because I know last time, you know, we.
Thank you, and thank you for reminding us of that. But if you have any question, please answer. If it's something that you don't know or you want to know, come see us. But don't let people rent space in your head. Come see us. We have an open door policy. And listen, we return every one of our phone calls. So, but again, thanks to the city, the employees, the council, and all of that, and certainly to the people of Phenix City. And I'm going to end on this, and I've said this a few weeks ago. We all have lost people in our families or people that are close to us because of COVID. And I want you to ask yourself this. It's a rhetorical question, as I stated. Why were you allowed to be here in 2022? It's a purpose. And I do believe wholeheartedly the purpose is to be a lifter and not a leaner. So with that said, we thank you all. At this time, we're going to stand adjourned, and everyone be careful going home, and we appreciate you all. Thank you.